This is Feature Minor. So I came across this disturbing clip, and it's from a kids movie from 1985 called The Adventures of Mark Twain.
Welcome to the mysterious stranger.
Hello.
Who are you?
An angel.
What's your name?
Satan.
Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Only it's sure a sorry name for an angel.
Please come in.
Come on.
Amazing. It's like an island.
Where'd he go?
What happened to him?
There. Oh boy.
Can we help?
You may make some people.
I'll make the king and queen. Look at that little village.
There. Here's a buddy.
Now we'll give them life.
Moving.
Looks like my pap on Saturday night.
Look, they're moving.
There's like regular people.
How annoying that sound is. Fools. What fascinations there are on this planet. Strange mortals with curious customs. We'll have a storm now, and an earthquake if you like. You must stand aside, out of danger. I can do no wrong, for I do not know what it is.
You murdered him.
Never mind them. People are of no value. We can make more sometime, if we need them. Life itself is only a vision, a dream. Nothing exists save empty space, and you are but a thought.
So why would this scene be in a kids movie? It doesn't even make sense. Now, I did find the full movie. It's available now. I'll leave a link in the comment section and description box. You can watch it for free. It's like maybe an hour and a half long film. I haven't watched it yet myself, but I'll probably watch it soon to get more context of what was going on with that scene, because that was very disturbing, and I don't think that should have been in the kids movie. You wouldn't think it would. I mean, what was this guy doing in the movie? Well, I shouldn't say this guy. I don't like to say the word Satan, but I guess this is what was in the movie. So let's discuss this, because why was the fallen one in a movie like this? It doesn't make sense. So he appeared in this doorway or a mirror. It looked like a portal that they walked through, because I've done research on doorways and portals, and so in the Bible they had this scene where they were talking about they put lamb's blood over the door because the doorways are important, and so the angels were told to pass over the places that had a lamb's blood on their doorway and stuff like that. So Also with mirrors, I went into a deep discussion about that in one of my previous videos. So whether this was a mirror or a door is unclear, but the fallen one appeared in this doorway, and then he convinced the kids to follow him through the doorway, and they did. So it became a portal, and they ended up in this place where, well, they were making these people out of clay. And that's interesting because that's what the Bible said people were made out of, is basically from the earth. These kids were forming these characters out of clay, and then the fallen one gave them life though. And so that's pretty disturbing that he had the ability to animate these clay figures that the kids were making. And so as he gave them life, they started doing things and living, and the kids were amazed by what they were seeing. And so it looked like the fallen one got annoyed by them after a while because they were so loud. And so basically he destroyed them, and there was an earthquake and a storm. So he's saying basically he just got tired of them and didn't want to be annoyed by them any longer. So he destroyed them, and the kids were disturbed by this. They were like, why did you do that? You know? And as the ground opened up and swallowed all the figures that they had made and were once living, the kids were like, this is sad, you know, why would you ever think to do something like that? And the fallen one said, well, it doesn't matter, we can just make more, you know? So the fallen one was saying people are nothing but a thought, basically, and really only nothingness exists. So this is where I find this information kind of interesting, because I did cover information like this before about thoughts and if we're living in the mind of God, you know, and we went into deep discussions about nothingness before. So I said in the beginning there was basically a conflict of interest where nothingness and consciousness pretty much had to figure it out, and I was explaining this sounds like the moment of creation. I'll probably leave some links for you if you want to get caught up on my take on a lot of this stuff, because it is a deep discussion where consciousness became self-aware, and it's an infinite moment of awareness. So it'd be like nothingness exists, but at the same time you're thinking like, okay, what am I? So if you close your eyes, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here, where it'd be kind of like you're in nothingness, but you know that you're there. And I said this would be the moment of what we're speaking of. So in this cartoon, they're saying basically the same thing, like only nothingness actually exists. Now that to me actually makes sense, and that's pretty disturbing. But the way they made it, how the fallen one was telling them this information, that's what I didn't like. So is that life is only a dream in empty space. And so wow, that's really starting to connect some information there where, yeah, life is only a dream, right? We're living in the mind of God, a dream world, kind of like basically when you dream, you know, it's like you can create a world when you dream, and that world wouldn't even exist in real life, but to you it exists. And so when you leave that dream, are you leaving behind an actual world, or was that all in your mind? And so most people would probably think, yeah, that's probably just in my mind. That whole dream was just a thought. And then that's exactly what they're saying in this cartoon. You're all but a thought. So you never really lose anybody. And then I heard a concept the other day where this person was brainstorming on this similar subject and saying basically, are they everybody, you know, like in a different time zone or something? So she was debating if her mother was her in another world, you know, in another time frame, and vice versa. And not only that, but everybody would be kind of like in the same thing where we're all just awareness and consciousness dwelling here. Now I know this is like a deep brainstorm for some of you, but I've had these thoughts before, and a lot of people seem to have these thoughts. And so I found a lot of information about even like in the beginning there was God, but then there's other books that describe a similar thing. And they talk about how in the beginning, yeah, there was nothingness. This nothingness is a thing though, because nothingness is an impossibility. You can't have nothing, because with this concept, nothingness would be impossible because you would have to have the concept of nothingness for there to be nothingness. This is where the paradox of reality comes into play, where this is an infinite moment of consciousness and self-awareness, because you can't have nothingness exist. It's impossible. And with this paradox of reality, for there to be nothingness, you would have to be aware that nothingness is an option of reality. And then from there, you have this infinite moment of self-awareness and this concept of I am. You know, you're like, okay, well, there can't be nothingness because I exist. And like I said, close your eyes and you can kind of visualize this moment of if all there was nothingness, which would be similar to closing your eyes and not opening them for a while. You would just see like, okay, there's nothing there. And it looks basically dark and black and nothing. There's also a movie coming out. It's called Venom. And they have this character called Null in the movie where in his origin story, he was born out of nothingness. But then what they didn't realize is that this nothingness was a thing that was him. Like he was saying basically like this nothingness that he was dwelling in was basically a thing. He was part of this nothingness. And so really there was no such thing as nothingness. And this character is called Null. I might get into a video about him at another time where I can go into a deeper explanation about this character, because all of these things, even the book of Thoth, what was it, the Emerald Tablets, and they cover in that book about nothingness and the beginning, the concept of the beginning of time. It sounded very similar to the biblical creation story. Like I said, I did videos on all this stuff. You're gonna have to catch up on it if you want. But I see this similar topic all the time. And so it's a very interesting discussion. I just can't believe all this information was in a children's story. That's really what didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So yeah, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section, how this information was put into this movie and then how they had the following giving this information, which was even more disturbing. So this is a lot of the concepts that I've covered before, and it's like, wow, so these aren't original concepts, I guess, where I've thought I came to a lot of these conclusions just by brainstorming, and it just kind of came to me by getting into deep thought and stuff. But it turns out these concepts and ideas have been around. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I'll leave the link if you want to check out the full Mark Twain movie, because I found it free, and you know, you can check it out if you want. Like I said, I'll probably get around to checking it out eventually. I don't know. I mean, I kind of skimmed through it and it looked very different from this scene. This one scene just kind of stood out, and the other scenes, it was kind of like normal stuff going on, it looked like, in the other scenes. So I don't know how interesting the rest of the movie is, but I'll probably give it a chance and maybe check it out at some time when I get some free time. But yeah, that's about it for today. If you checked out the movie, let me know what you thought about it. I'm going to leave some links for you to my Feed Your Mind store, my free email newsletters, my social media and stuff like that. If you would like to support this channel, please donate as little as $1 to help keep this channel online. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Feed Your Mind signing off.